Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Monday with the Moores. I am Terrence Moore.
Good morning. I am Cheryl Ann Stokes Moore.
Dag, the whole government name
The
this
whole
morning?
government
Oh
name.
my God. Yeah, look. I'm in mourning. I'm in mourning. Dallas Cowboys got blown out yesterday by Detroit. All of my so-called friends text and inbox and everything else to remind me how bad Dallas is. But no matter what, I'm with them boys. No matter what, I'm with them boys. Faithful, not a no bandwagon cowboy fan. This still our season.
Well, Terrence, at least I would say this. When the phone go off, you got the faithful that text.
That always let me know and remind me.
Now, I don't want to be busting anybody up, but Pastor Johnson is always first. I feel like he sends out some red alert because after his text, everybody text.
Man,
I feel like
damn,
that is what you are
Jonathan
doing
Assyrian
to
of
my
South
man.
Brook Church.
And tag him in this today because I think you are doing that. You do it and then you call everybody else in. I already did the kickoff.
Man, talk about. I think Jerry called me to come to camp. You know what?
Wow.
Some of you folks, and then I'm calling out Tiffany Henry. That's right. I sure did.
Don't call her out.
Tiffany Henry called talking about the Saint. Well, yeah, the Saints won, whatever. Oh, I tell you, good morning, Dr. Whitley. Thank you. I maybe a friend on this morning. Jeez, my dude. Look at we love the Whitleys and Lady T with the plug. Man, I love her TikToks, dude.
Terry shows me her TikToks all the time. I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah, get TikTok at the plug DA space PLUG.
All right, let's get this morning started. Let's get it started. As you can see, it's Monday with Morris. It doesn't mean it's every Monday, but we probably do it twice a month, every other Monday. We haven't come up with it yet, but just thank you for following and for being a part as we develop. We are still in the development stages of this podcast and conversation. It's for the real live of the live. And Terrence asked me, I felt like we needed to continue our conversation about transitions. Can I just start this part?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you.
Tell us.
Transitioning, I felt like we were kind of already moving. I'm finding there are several layers to this empty nester transitioning part of it.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
Adult children. And one of the things that we're doing is celebrating what has been accomplished and celebrating ourselves as parents because we're looking at our children soar. We're looking at them live their lives. But for me, what's important is in the part, as we partner with them in their journey, that they trust us as their partners.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I feel like that's one of the biggest things. Trust. I remember our bishop saying one time when we were going through some very difficult times, when you lose trust or trust is broken, bruised, scarred, it's really hard. It's not something that can repair. It's not repair. It's a redemptive process. And I felt like we have gone through that in our decisions. And also with our children to maintain that level of trust to be a part of this adult independent journey. And let me tell you, it's something to know that my children can pick up the phone or text me or one called me, hey, I'm at the store. What do you think about that? That may sound very simple. I don't care. It's the fact that you didn't pick up the phone and call a friend. You picked up the phone and called your mom. And you have to know, I love what I heard someone say. You have to know when you need to step in as a parent, when you need to be the mom or the dad, because sometimes we believe we're just the parent. So we step in like we are parenting them, but we are partnering with them.
Right.
Right now, you need to ask yourself that. And so I'm mindful because it also helps me to mature in a different space, right?
Very true.
Well, okay, if you're going to use this, then do this, then do this. And then if I know it's kind of heading in the wrong direction, I've seen that this works best in this type of cookware. I've seen that this is more seasonal, so the
Right.
taste is going to be off for you. So instead of telling people what to do and coming in, parents can be very critical and critique as though you're not looking for a response. And that's not really healthy. What it really is, very hurtful to the relationship. I do recognize very much so,
Mhm.
and we should in all of our relationships, right? People don't have to be bothered with you.
That is so true. That is so
Nobody
true.
have to be bothered with you.
That
And
is-
and the world has morphed so I don't even have to take your call. I don't
That's
even have
true.
to respond.
Or respond to your
Or
text.
respond to your text or I don't owe you that. And we all in our mind have that idea.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying walk on eggshells, but it's bringing us to a sense of respect. Like people are not tolerating the disrespect
From nobody.
I don't care who you are. So I think in that, having the conversations of in a more not so much mature, but creating that equality.
Mm-hmm.
Let the equitable discussion govern the partnership or the relationship, because I'm gonna tell you, it's just not there anymore. And I think that Cherylology here, the pandemic pushed us in that way, and the pandemic became a protectant against abusers. Against people who don't respect boundaries, against individuals
that, is so true.
that do not honor your life, honor your work, honor your health. And your health is just not in the physical body, it's in the emotional, spiritual context. That caveat of or that the cocktail of abuse, or an abuse in verbiage, the dictatorship, even in how we worship, how we relate to one another.
Because we see that in work and church.
Right. I was listening to a podcast where block is serious. Will somebody block you? We have taken these things for granted, but we have to look at the resources.
The block game became strong after the pandemic.
It became strong, and we would call it childish and immature, but really it became a sense of boundary.
Oh, absolutely.
That cannot be broken, and you can call it what you want, but the generations in the past, when we didn't have that, people kind of reacted in a certain way, but now that's available to all mankind.
Okay.
Look, like I'm advertising.
Look here. Hey,
it's available to all mankind. Like nobody gotta be, because my space is your life.
My space is sacred, and right. It should be peaceful.
Your life space. Come on, can we have that conversation? Okay. I'm gonna pass the time. Watch this right here.
Well, no. Before we go to the life space part, I like the fact that you were talking about the block game, and we have seen this in the church, because I think what got exposed in the church, that people start recognizing, you know what, I just
adorable.
I just don't want to deal with Pastor so and so. I don't want to deal with Deacon so and so. I don't even want to deal with Sister so and so. I don't want to feel like I'm obligated to come to the building. I am fine online. I'm getting this word. I'll pay but I just don't feel like dealing with people this Sunday, because my block game is like, look, y'all done did enough. I'm going through my thing. Let me just get this word, give my tithe and offering, and I'm out in my pajamas. And I think that people really got a better understanding of what boundaries really is. I mean, the importance of boundaries, the importance of being peaceful in your space. And then when we start working from home, you don't have to deal with the micromanaging boss, the supervisor, or the coworker just get on your nerve, talking crazy, acting crazy, or it's like, look, you know what? I like y'all, but I don't love y'all. I'd rather see y'all like 1 or 2 days a week than all 5 days. I am productive. I'm realizing I'm productive in peace.
I think for me, years ago, so the work from home and the creative work lifestyle has always been a part of my life. It was the going back.
Oh my gosh.
Going
this
back
the queen
into,
of remote.
I'm the queen of let work become integrated into my life system. And I am in a space transitions of healing that journey where there's a time and a place for that. And I am in a season of healing that, of resting that, because it was so go, 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 go. And my regimen of spirituality. So spirituality is very important to me.
Yeah.
Call her the Pisces day. I mean, I live up in the clouds. I need a lot of.
She visits down this realm. I teach about that all the time.
As much as people
her
see
primary residence is up there.
Right. As much as you see me externally, I am a true introvert. To reprieve, to retract self for rediscovery, to release people's energy, and in that,
the empath.
Health is wealth, right? And I say that again. The health of partnerships, right? The health of your partnerships, your relationships is so important. And listen, here's a big girl word, big adult word.
Okay. We could be adulting again this morning.
A little bit.
I don't want to adult
I literally have become comfortable with doing a diagnostic. People, or you can do a body scan. I do not just a life scan, a partnership relationship. Who am I partnering in that's not healthy in this season? Where am I partnership?
That creates a healthy life space.
A deep diagnostic and several testings of the heart, the mind. I look at all of my system, my internal systems, my chakra systems. I inquire of the Holy Spirit, what is going on? Because that engagement at some point has to be reconfigured as we continue to evolve.
And a constant clearing.
A constant clearing of conflict, confusion.
Get the blockages out, every aspect of your system.
The block game is hard.
I tell you, internally and externally.
Exactly. And not knowing that you need to step away. One of the most cryptic things that I would do would to be more of a revolving door, almost like an addiction to usury and abuse, and subjecting myself for the greater cause. And it wasn't a greater cause. Man, it really became codependent. And people don't realize, some people, I realize this, you can become I would look at codependent, independent relationships in a human form, but it's the way I was living my life completely in a codependent form, and relating that to mission and vision and to the work and things. All that's doing is abusing you. It's not only just abusing, it's also making you. And it's an absolute of abuse, and it's also making
self-abuse.
It's very much so. And it's really showing. I had to look at myself and say, are these emotional addictions? Is this less of self-worth, self-value that it's
that you just take on that abuse?
Right. Because my value comes in my talent, my skills, and my abilities. No. And that's a whole
abuse me so I can feel needed.
And I don't even know if I felt that I needed you. That's the scapegoat. Can I say that?
Okay, break that one down. Why is the need? Why is that
feeling that you need to be needed is a scapegoat? Because I have never felt that way.
No, you haven't felt that.
No, I'm just saying that's not the only symptom.
Okay, come on with it.
When I do diagnostic, that is not the only symptom.
Okay,
it's the fact that you are so caught into the greater good of something, you lose yourself. You lose your identity. right?
Okay.
And so I would call it a little play on ego. I would say, I don't even want to say the word, I'm not going to minimize it and say little. And you don't know that that's the ego saying this is for the greater good. You are denying your own destiny by saying this is for the greater good. Why?
But that's the need, though.
It's
but that's the need to be needed. That's why I
said it's subtle. You don't. You think it's out there, but it's you're thinking this is going to be for. I convinced myself this is for the best. I've convinced myself that this is what is right. I've convinced myself. You have talked yourself into a traumatizing situation.
I can get with that, but
I know that sounds quirky.
But you know what? I think there's this almost like this constant sacrificial lamb also that's in the place.
I think we've been kind of programmed to. That's a program. It's an old program that you are to be the sacrificial lamb until the true test. For me,
Jesus did his sacrifice for me. I'm supposed to build on that sacrifice. Look, if I don't have to put put myself out there like that, it's like, look, he paid the cost. I'm supposed to just elevate from that. The blood has been spilled, everything's been done, the sacrifice. Look, he done dealt with betrayal in his inner circle. Yeah. He done showed us how to handle it. He showed us how to be God and man at the same time. He's dealt with the spiritual challenges and the earthly challenges. So it's just like, why are we still have to deal with this? Feel that we have to suffer. Like, there are certain things that you suffer because you have lessons to learn.
True.
But you ain't supposed to be suffering just for the sake of the cause. True. You can be strong and you can understand what the forces that are against you. But that doesn't mean you just consistently, constantly be abused. Put your boundaries up and say, look, this is what I'm going to be dealing with. You're not going to be treating me this way. This is how I'm going to handle this situation. No, we're going to be dealing with some root causes. We're not dealing with the superficial stuff. Okay, I'm not going to do it off a tangent. But look at here. We ain't got time for all this stuff, man. What's up, Sylvester?
I got something to say.
What? Because because I have learned just from I have learned from the pastoring and just being every day. Look, Jesus paid the cost. I am not repaying the invoice.
Okay, that's good, Terrence. I love you.
We need to learn how to really build upon the foundation that has already been laid in our everyday life.
Okay, so now that you done brought in the Jesus guard, I'm fixing to bring in the reality guard.
Go ahead, bring the reality. Really this good. Jesus reality. Go.
We are married, but we had to mature into partnering.
Yeah, that's true.
And let me tell you, I hear what Terrence is saying, and Terrence knows we live like this in the house. We live like this in the house.
Go ahead.
Like, there ain't no after, why'd you say that on a live? We don't do that foolishness. That's crazy. Let me tell you.
So what's up?
It's easy to say that when you are not committed to someone, whether you are married, whether you're in a love relationship or whatever that bond is. It's easy for you to sit up here on this live and tell people to tell that. That's one part of it. When you can it depends on the state, the conditioning, and the connection of that relationship. Because I'm
gonna walk with you for a little. Go ahead.
You can walk with me because we done been on this road multiple times. So let me tell you. Well, when I feel, and this is a part of transition and maturity, it's also in knowing what is serving you well and really doing a deep diagnostic. Because there have been several times where you're like, you know what, this woman that you gave me is on my nerve. I'm out.
No, I don't say I'm out now.
I'm the one who say I'm out.
Yeah, you say that.
You might be out of the conversation, but I'm out of the relationship.
I'm like, God, you're gonna have to deal with. You're gonna have. You have to deal with me to put up with her.
Okay, so let's talk. Let's deal with this. I am going to say this, and because I'm grown in all of that and own what I say, and I live by the words I say, and this was not an overnight thing. When you want to, it's hard to walk away when you start looking at conditions obligations, responsibilities, who's going to be
True,
impacted,
True.
even though it may not be very healthy for you. But I also think in that there's some soul work that needs to be done to own everything and do what you can.
That's maturity.
To stay in a physical, because we say, oh, if you're being physically abused, then leave. Emotional
It's
abuse,
a whole different
mental abuse, any form of abuse is abuse. And to stay there beyond what is healthy for you to live in is a real heavy decision. Like I've been, and people will say, I've been in this, I've dealt with this for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old now. What's the point of leaving? Right.
Sanity.
And it's not about leaving. Well, it's not about.
I mean, it's again, easier said than done.
Are both people on both sides willing to put the work in? If people are willing
leave the
to
ego
put
on the floor,
right, and put the work in, is whether or not are we going to have the hard conversations about what it is. Are you going to sit down in a way and listen and be heard? Somebody can be heard. I will say this.
That's a mental transition.
That is not just a mental, it's emotional, a heart transition.
Yeah.
It is a heart transition because it's easy to say. And now we're in a society to say, oh, this is no longer serving me well, I'm out. It's almost like the question, and I look at couples, I look at partnerships, business partnerships, work with, how easy is it to cut the cord? And if it's easy for you to cut the cord, or if it's not hard, if it's too hard to cut the cord, both of those are very fragile, vulnerable, unhealthy conditions to look at and to put in reasons, but starting with who you are.
Cutting the cord.
Because people lose themselves in that you can lose yourself in a very toxic situation.
Now, see,
Serology.
Yeah, sure. That cutting the cord. I mean, I can see that it can be difficult for some people, but my cutting cord game is strong. It's
strong if it's external relationships and you are not sleeping with the person, you're not living with the person. Yeah. It's not your child, one of your children. Yeah. It's not our family.
But we've been able to appropriate.
If somebody is still watching this live or y'all in the replay, could somebody tell me where you at with what I'm saying? Do you believe that it's easy to cut the cord under any type of relationship?
Okay, that's not a fair question.
Well, there's going to
be. Yeah, now look, okay, I'll say with external people. I'm gonna be very frank. Anybody outside this house, my cutoff game is strong.
I don't know about all of that now.
Who?
I think it's hard for us with blood-based relationships because we've been taught family is family.
That wasn't difficult for me.
The hearts and the lights of the reality of what it is.
At one time, that wasn't.
Let me tell you what we go around saying. You have to set boundaries. We want to assume that we all understand and know that. We really want to assume that we all understand how to do that when we have tribal, ritual, generational relationships that we understand what that looks like. And I know adults that walk around in fear.
Right.
Fear of family members that they don't live with, don't pay their bills, don't do anything, but don't want to deal with them. And so they don't cut them off. They just tolerate the disrespect, the emotional unraveling. And that's the conversation. I feel like at some point, that's why I said the world in the digital sense has given us the ability to help give us resources to help us build those boundaries. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's true. If you listen to any, I hear.
Thank you very much. It is hard to cut the cord. And I also think we have to look at a cord has many strands.
That's true.
A cord can have multiple strands with a covering. If you're cutting through what's covering and then you're cutting a cord that's no longer work. It is very hard to cut the cord. It is. It's very hard.
I'll kind of
give
in
in my life right now.
I'll give into that one to a certain extent. I get the investment of time and effort and emotion and
invested. That's the part.
Yeah.
And I think we also have to look at. I like that.
I'll take a modified L on this one.
I love this part. Invested, because sometimes we invest things with a diminishing return. And I don't feel like cutting the cord means I completely have to disconnect or not communicate. But you have to go into a realm or in a part of my life space that does not bring toxic or damaging conditions to who I am. And it is hard to cut the cord. And the closer they are in the house, whether they live in your house or you sleeping in the bed with them, that's even harder to cut the cord.
That's true.
I am going to offer this. Well, what do you do if you're sleeping in bed? Let me tell you. I'll tell you what you do because I did it.
Oh, Lord. We are about to end our Monday with the Moors.
No, we're not. We're going to end our Mondays with the Moors, but now you're going to make me come back next week. Tune in, because I had to cut the cord. I didn't leave. I didn't get a divorce, but I'm going to tell you how my reconfiguration. And I started it.
I can't with you.
My therapist helped me.
I can't with you. Lord, this woman you gave me.
I'm like, this our emerging trying to do a podcast. Let me tell you something. This nigga right here.
Oh, Lord.
We're
Notice who said this.
Right. And this is the work in progress, right? Because if we were having these conversations a few years ago, it'd be a whole.
Oh my God!
First of all, we wouldn't be on the live. We wouldn't be laughing. Gosh. Well, now we don't care.
Oh, we don't give a
and I'm not talking about healing. I'm talking about freedom, because most of the time we're confined to roles and to these illusions of identities that have been designed. But join in next week. I'm gonna tell you how to handle these folk that you live with and in your space. I'm gonna tell you.
I need a flash of to be continued. Because I need to cut this off.
Because when you are invested, it is truly challenging difficult to deny yourself.
Yeah, that's a story. That's a story for next session, the next episode.
It is truly difficult.
That is for real, for real.
It's true, not to deny it, to detox from those type of things. It is truly difficult to detox, and we went through that. But join in next week, because he says we're over time. But you know me.
Nah, she said next week.
I'm fixing to tell. Nah, we're gonna have to come on 2 Mondays in a row. Next segment, because let me tell you, there is a way to do it, and it makes the relationship. It purges.
Yeah.
It purges.
It's gotta go through it. Man.
It's an organic purge.
Gotta go through it,
because you don't even know you have normalized them to respond, to react a certain way, and they have normalized you to respond, to react a certain way.
I normalize. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this next. I normalize you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are going to talk about this. I know. Oh yeah.
You normalized it.
I normalized you. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because when I start talking about how you normalize, oh yeah, we gonna be. Oh yeah, this gonna be fun. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh my, okay, we out. Look at it. Thank you for joining us this morning. I can't wait the next episode. I go unload.
She know where we're going.
Oh my God.
We normalize each other, and you normalize responses. It's not just the anticipation. You don't even know you're responding and reacting the way, but you know it's so normal until it creates a dysfunction. And let me tell you, the serious note, we're going to end this on a serious note.
Go ahead. I'm serious right now.
You get to tell too. You get to tell. You get to share.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to share.
You share.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
Ooh,
It
this
created
woman Lord.
such a dysfunction in our destiny direction.
Yeah, that part.
Oh, see, now he
That
wanna talk.
part.
And can I say that?
Go ahead.
The most critical part was the heart failure. We were both in cardiac arrest.
Jeez.
And under that duress, under that stress, we definitely had like scoliosis in conversations. We definitely had ailments that showed. That's not even talking about the ailments that showed up in our natural body, but we
from what was going on.
You know, and I think a part of that came where we actually, when we started going through this years later, in the last several years, we go back and do a deeper dive as we have learned, and Terrence did this. He's always had vision for our family. 2 people, and then when it grew, it became 3 people, and then 4 people, and then 5. We have 3 adult children. So I would say in that, it became so critical because we were on life support, meaning living life, right? Life daily. We normalized it, although we were dying. And I'm going to leave that right there because
we normalized the thing that was killing us.
Everything was normalized. Everything had become normalized. And the work that had to go into that, whether it was cooking, working, moving our kids into their own independence, you know, our intimate life, our sex life, our worship, everything had become normalized. And there was nothing we could do to navigate that except to reach outside of that.
Ooh, that's so true.
Because that was normalized. There was nothing in there that could take us in another level. We're not way over time, but I just want to say next time, I mean, it had to start, and it was so interesting in my sessions. She would, amazing therapist would say to me, you're looking at natural birth, but you as this partner birthing out somebody, I'm not going to get too much in the biological train here, but somebody has to bring that forth to start it. Because it's going to let you know where what's the love language, and what is the condition of love. We're in cardiac arrest, so we were dying.
And our whole relationship transitioned as well because of that.
Right.
So nothing ever stayed the same. I mean, we're not the same that we were 30 plus years ago. And that was a whole situation by itself. All right. We are for real.
Yeah.
Out until the next episode. Well, thank you for joining us again. Looking forward to seeing you all at the next Monday with the Moors episode. And we're going to I like this one. We're going to deal with additional transition all the way through. All right. You all take care. God bless. We out. Peace.